Hello, welcome to Library Connection. I'm Mandy Cantrell, Youth Services Director at the B.B. Comer Memorial Library here in Sylacauga. Well, it's springtime, or it's soon to be spring. I know we've still had some cooler weather, but I can see the rain is coming, and we've had some warm days, and spring is almost here. I'm very excited for that, and so we're trying to get ready to grow flowers, plant gardens, get your yards ready, things like that. And so I'm hoping from this program today, I think I'm going to learn a lot. Dani Carroll is joining me today. She is a regional extension agent in home horticulture with the Alabama Extension Service. I had to read that to make sure I got that correct. But thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Great, great. Well, we want to talk about spring, and we want to talk about how to get our yards ready. But I guess first, really, I mentioned your title as a regional extension agent. What do you do for them? What does that entail? Do you travel?
We do. We kind of embrace the regional system.
Okay.
2004, 2005. So a lot of people may have been used to the extension system, 20 years ago when we had a lot of employees in each county office. Right. And now we're regional. So we still have, like, everybody's familiar with the 4-H program, 4-H and youth services, urban affairs, wildlife, forestry, and then home horticulture. Okay. So I do the home horticulture, but instead of one county, now I do 11. So we're kind of a little bit more specialized in what we do, but we spread out a little bit more.
So you have 11 counties. Do you travel to those counties some?
We do. We do a lot of programs. Last Friday, I was just down the road in Coosa County. We were doing a fruit pruning workshop.
Oh, okay, great.
And so in Talladega, I'm sorry about.
No, yeah, go ahead.
It was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. We also did a fruit pruning workshop then.
Oh, okay. It must be time to prune your fruit trees.
It was time to prune the fruit trees.
All right. Well, that's great. So you travel out and about to do classes with people. Are there also ways? I know a lot of people that work full time would have a hard time getting to a class maybe in the middle of the day.
We have a lot of online resources. We actually have. A lot of people this time of year, they're interested in growing their vegetables, getting everything ready.
Right.
And so we do have an app. It's called the SO app.
Oh, okay. And I think we've got a slide of that. Or
it's a free app. Anyone can download it. It's really cool because you can put in your zip code.
Oh, okay, good.
You go to each day, and it'll say, what can I plant today? Or you can look up different vegetables and it'll...
Is this for gardening, flowers?
That one is specifically for vegetable gardens.
That's great. That's information right there on your phone.
But we do have other resources. We have a Gardening in the South book.
Oh,
that's,
okay.
I mean, special for southern states, special for Alabama.
That's it right
That's
there.
it. And unfortunately, this one is not able to download on Android yet.
Okay.
So this is just Apple.
Working on it. So that is not so much a physical book as it's an e-book.
It's an e-book.
Okay. How do people get that?
You can go to you can download that app. It's an iBook. It's free. It has a lot of chapters, so it's really nice. It has like soils and propagation, hobby greenhouses, just different things.
Oh, okay.
And you could also go to our website and look at it as well.
I know you mentioned y'all have a lot of YouTube videos too.
We have YouTube videos. Our YouTube channel is Fresh from the Field.
Okay.
So
there's one of them that we looked at, Soil Sampling 101.
Okay, so a lot of people have questions on how do I take my sample, where do I send it? So that's all our videos are usually about 2 minutes, so they're pretty quick.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a YouTube video for everything. So.
There is, and a lot of people are like me. They can't travel during the day because they work.
Right.
They can't travel at night because they have a kid and church and other things.
Sure.
And I'm a 2 o'clock in the person, 2 o'clock in the morning kind of person, reading books and getting online. So we have a lot of webinars too.
Oh, okay. Are they on your website?
They are on our website.
And what is, I forgot your website.
Our website is www.aces.edu.
Okay, www.aces.edu.
Right. And you can go there and look at any of the calendars for any of the counties.
And that's great. I guess if you just go to YouTube, not just for yours, but just look up anything on YouTube. It depends on where you live, but we're in the South, so these are specific.
It's very specific, and well, let's be honest. You gotta watch what You know, watch
Yes.
what people tell you on YouTube, because
That's true.
just because you say it doesn't make it true.
That's true. That's true. But that's great because it's specific to the South. It's specific to our area.
It is, and it's research-based information. Alabama Extension, we're a function of our land-grant universities, which is Auburn University and Alabama A&M.
Okay.
So we're giving education that comes straight from those universities out to the public.
That is great, and it's great to have a resource to look at online on your own time when you can. I will have to make a plug for the library, though. We have lots of books available, too, if you want to come in and look through a book, flip through the pages. This is Heirloom Vegetable Gardening. We've got Southern Living's Big Book of Flower Gardening, Fruit Gardener's Bible. So we have a lot, and we have much more than this, many more than this, but these are just a few I brought with lots of pictures, a Master Gardener's Guide to Planting, Seed Saving, and Cultural History. It sounds like a good read, even if you're not much of a gardener. You can enjoy that. So we have lots of resources. We have computers where you can come and get online to look at the videos, look at the ebooks or the iBooks.
Yes, ma'am.
I have to figure out which one to call those. So there are a lot of ways we can get this information, and then to find out about the classes and the workshops, probably on your website also.
The website's a good place to start, and the calendars are broken down by county.
Oh, okay.
So you can easily find a location that's close to you.
Great, and to have somebody who knows what they're talking about. Like you said, you have to watch what you look at on YouTube, but to find somebody that actually knows what they're doing. How long have you been involved with the extension system?
Let's see, 15 years.
15 years, okay. Was this just a hobby, or is this what you've studied? I know it's what you enjoy. It has to be.
It is. I have a master's degree in commercial vegetable production.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And then instead of going into the commercial field, I ended up in the home grounds field. So now I'm landscaping everything, and I love it.
Oh, that's great. That's great. It is not something I do well. I won't tell you my address because I don't want you to drive by my house, but my husband said, I want to watch this show when you get finished, so we're going to try and do a little bit better with our yard. But we're going to pause for a commercial break, and we'll come right back and talk some more with Dani.
Hot under the collar because your basement is full of water? Call a local company you can trust. Ox Foundation Solutions. We use the most advanced water management system to stop water from invading your basement for good. Things feeling a little uneven at home? Ox Foundation Solutions will fix your uneven concrete sidewalk, driveway, or basement in no time. Ox Foundation Solutions has the best plan to keep your home safe. If you are experiencing any issues with your sidewalks, basement, crawl space, or foundation, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Tax time is here again. Dreading the time and stress of filing your taxes this year? Let the trained professionals at King's Tax Service help you and to give you that peace of mind. Our dedicated team of experts will give you friendly and professional service this tax season and any time of the year. Also, ask about the refund anticipation loan. You may apply for up to $5,000. Don't let the deadline sneak up on you, and don't let filing taxes get you down. Come in and see us today at King's Tax Service.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Sylacauga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room, to surgery, to cancer treatment, to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
Hello and welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Dani Carroll. She is a regional extension agent in home horticulture with the Alabama Extension System. By the end of this interview, I'm going to have that down pat.
It's a mouthful.
It is. That's great. But I want to ask now, we've talked about how to get information through the website, the workshops and webinars and things like that. What are your most asked questions during this time? What are some questions you're asked during this time of year?
This time of year, it's how do I fertilize this? I'm getting my vegetable garden ready.
Right.
What do I need for fertilizer? And I hate to always answer with, well, you probably need to get your soil tested. But it really is the easiest way because we can guess on fertilizer.
Right.
And a lot of times you might come under, but you might have a lot of nutrients already in the soil that you don't need.
Right.
One thing I will say, you know, everybody's getting what I call, it's called getting your garden ready.
Okay.
So I would like to do throw a pitch for Alabama. We can garden 12 months out of the year
Oh, really?
in our
I guess I
vegetable
think
garden.
it-
So
okay.
right now, I mean, I'm still harvesting spinach and broccoli
Right.
and everything's growing. So we
Oh,
don't
that's
have to
great.
just start right now.
Okay. It's a year-round process.
It's a year-round process.
Okay.
But a soil sample is really easy to take. I'm not going to tell somebody to go take one every year, but I do one myself about every 3 years.
Okay, because it does change, I'm
It
sure.
will change, and that'll give you the pH of the soil, which is your soil acidity. And then based on that, whether you need to raise or lower that. I think sometimes we forget that when we're growing vegetables, we're not growing things that grow around here.
Oh,
They're not
yes.
things that you find, you know, growing in the woods or just on the
Okay,
side of the road.
yeah,
So we kind of have to tailor our soil.
Oh, well, that makes
little bit.
perfect sense. Yeah, that's great. Now, it's very easy to do, right? I have done a soil sample. My
The
husband
soil
has.
sample
You
is
just get
very
the box.
easy to do. Basically, it's a sample. So when you go out into your garden, you don't just get one. You kind of randomly would go around, maybe take
Okay.
10 or 15 smaller samples,
Right.
mix it up, and then take about a pint from it. You can get it $7.
Okay.
And I tell people that it's actually the one thing that hasn't gone up in price. And for as long as I've worked.
Really?
So, and it can save you a lot of money on fertilizer
Oh,
costs.
I'm sure. And on the things you're growing, you're going to have
That's
a better,
right.
better crop, better flowers, better garden, whatever. And you just get the box,
You
put
can get the
sample in,
box,
mail
get the
it on.
sample. You can get the box and the sheet of paper that you fill out. You can get
Okay.
it from your local county office,
Okay.
and then mail that in.
And it's to Auburn or somewhere? I
It is.
think?
The state lab is on Auburn. I mean, you can go through any lab. That's
Okay.
just
That's
the
very
state
good.
lab here in Alabama, and I know that
Okay.
one is $7.
That's great. Boy, that's not much because you would save a lot on fertilizer and,
It's easier than guessing.
oh, I'm sure.
And then, I mean, the other thing is, besides the soil sample, the one thing that I don't think that people in Alabama realize is our lack of organic matter in our soil.
Okay.
And so when I mean organic matter, I'm talking about animal manures. I mean, you probably see
Right.
black cow at the store and things
Okay,
like that. So
yeah.
I'm talking about composted manures, not something fresh. A lot of people have compost piles where they're composting
Right.
their leaves. Well, our soil is very devoid of organic matter. We
Oh,
have a lot
okay.
of, we're a warm weather state.
That's
So
right.
we have a lot of activity going 12 months out of the year, and our organic matter is always decomposing. So
Okay.
vegetables love it when you actually add a lot of that good organic matter into the soil. So that's also an important part of getting those
Okay.
gardens ready.
Great. Well, I know that one of the videos that I watched was on how to do a soil sample, so we should probably all do that, find out things we need, and add the
Organic matter
matter.
is a great thing to do.
Great. All right. Good. That helps get the soil ready, right?
That helps get our soil ready.
All right. What other kind of questions are you asked? Getting the soil ready and then planting, or what?
It's a big, everybody is ready to plant, everybody's ready to do stuff in their landscape. We've been doing, like I said, a lot of pruning classes
Okay.
over the last couple of
Oh,
months.
now there's a one on landscape. There's a picture.
It is, and that's one of the things that I recommend to people to do, every year. And that picture really just shows a fresh layer of mulch. In this case, it's pine straw.
straw.
And
Okay.
you're amazed at when you rake out the old pine straw each year,
Yes.
and I would compost that again.
Oh,
I would
okay,
rake out the
yeah.
old,
Rake out that,
compost
put
it,
it
add
in
it to the
there.
vegetable garden, and put out some new
Okay.
mulch. It's really going to help with weeds.
Okay. Yes.
Those pesky plants that we don't like coming up, and it really looks like you just slapped a new coat of paint on a room.
It does.
when you add a fresh layer.
All right. There's pine straw. There's wood chips.
There's
or
wood
all
chips.
kinds
There's
of things.
pine bark. Yeah, there's all kinds of.
One better than the other, or it just varies.
It varies. I like to tell people. I mean, it's what you like
Okay.
and what goes with your house. I do try to keep the mulches off the house, especially
Oh,
when they're
okay.
a wood mulch.
Right.
Maybe a foot or two off the
Oh,
house.
okay. Okay.
And also, when we're coming to our big trees and things like that, and we have a YouTube video on this,
Oh, good.
is keeping the mulch off of our trees. You know, we
Okay,
tend to
yes.
see the trees with the fresh mulch piled
Oh, I
up
do it
around
all
the
the
base.
time, put pine straw around
And
it.
so what that does is it kind of keeps it wet. It invites insects and invites disease. So we try to keep that mulch, you know, 6 inches or so away from, just
Okay.
away from the base.
Okay. Oh, well, I've learned something new. I need to write that down to remember that. Okay, and that's so simple. Just things that we all do, but we don't know that they're wrong or that it's not the best for your.
It's not the best.
Not the best for your trees. All right. All right, so people are interested in getting their soil ready and making it look pretty. I know in the spring, some of my daylilies are starting to come up, and I'm thinking, oh yes, I need some fresh pine straw. What else do I need to be doing? First of all, I need to mow my front yard to get rid of the weeds, and do more than that. I know.
And the lawn's a whole nother topic. You know,
Yeah.
when we talk about gardening, sometimes people don't think of the lawn as a garden.
Oh.
But you know, for a lot of people, their lawn is their garden. It is a
Yes, yeah.
plant, and the lawn is not something that's an afterthought, like we plant it and forget about it.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of maintenance that
Yes,
goes
there-
into a what I'm going to call a weed-free perfect yard. And again, keeping your grass healthy, fertilizing it correctly, correct mowing height, and all that good stuff that we don't usually think about really goes a long way
That's true.
towards the health.
And it looks so pretty to have a pretty lawn.
It does, and it feels good on the feet.
Oh yes, we don't go barefoot enough, but we should go out in it.
I think so.
Well, we're going to pause for another commercial break, and we'll be right back to talk some more with Dani.
Hot under the collar because your basement is full of water? Call a local company you can trust. Ox Foundation Solutions. We use the most advanced water management system to stop water from invading your basement for good. Things feeling a little uneven at home? Ox Foundation Solutions will fix your uneven concrete sidewalk, driveway, or basement in no time. Ox Foundation Solutions has the best plan to keep your home safe. If you are experiencing any issues with your sidewalks, basement, crawl space, or foundation, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Tax time is here again. Dreading the time and stress of filing your taxes this year? Let the trained professionals at King's Tax Service help you and to give you that peace of mind. Our dedicated team of experts will give you friendly and professional service this tax season and any time of the year. Also, ask about the refund anticipation loan. You may apply for up to $5,000. Don't let the deadline sneak up on you, and don't let filing taxes get you down. Come in and see us today at King's Tax Service.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Sylacauga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery to cancer treatment to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Dani Carroll with the Alabama Extension System. We're talking about what we're doing to get our yards ready, our soil, our mulch, and everything like that. What are you doing in your yard right now for your gardens or your lawn or shrubbery?
I'm a divider, so
Oh.
I see that some of my perennials, like my fall blooming or late summer perennials,
Yes.
have already started kind of poking their heads up.
Oh, okay.
So I've been digging those and dividing them now. It's a good time now to divide those
Okay.
that bloom later in the summer
Yes.
or
okay.
later in the fall. So I've been trying to make more.
Oh, well, when you divide them, you just dig them up and just really divide them
And just really
replant them.
dividing them
Yeah.
and replanting them. So it's a pretty easy thing to do. I wouldn't do that with your perennials that are fixing to bloom or bloom
Right,
in
okay.
late spring. I probably would wait till fall for that.
Okay, okay.
But for the later blooming ones,
Now,
I'm doing that now.
okay, now for those of us who don't garden a lot, perennials and annuals, what's the difference there?
Okay, annuals complete their life cycle in 1 year.
Okay.
So pansies.
Okay,
That's an annual. An
Right.
annual that we usually plant in October. It grows all winter, and right now it's starting to show out like it has. Coneflowers.
Okay.
That would be a perennial, and a perennial means that it comes back from the roots every year. It'll die
Okay.
back
Right.
in the winter, but it'll come back from the roots. Now we do have some annuals that'll self-seed.
Oh, really?
They're still annuals. They didn't
Okay.
come back from their roots, but they
Right.
did drop seed. Tithonia is Mexican sunflower, and that is one of my
Okay.
favorite annuals.
Really?
Blooms in the summer, and every year, it's everywhere.
Really? Okay.
It's
I'll have to
everywhere.
look
Just
that
just
up.
from the seeds blowing everywhere.
Oh, okay. That's great. Well, I was just about to say, for your annuals, you have to replant them every year, and for the most part, probably, but some
Right,
of them
and a
they
lot of people are
come
going
up
to
on.
use annuals in their containers,
Okay.
their hanging
yes.
baskets, because they like to trade out the flowers for the season. And perennials, and this isn't a rule because anything goes in gardening, but perennials are usually the ones that we see in our hardscapes, in the landscapes,
Okay.
because they do come back.
Okay, good. Well, see, I know that, but I have to rethink that every year when I'm buying things. Okay, so in your yard, you said you're dividing.
I'm
your things.
dividing, I am remulching everything, I'm pulling out the old mulch, composting it. I have compost piles, so I'm
Okay.
just pulling out the old mulch and putting
Right.
that back into the pile so I can reuse it later. I'm a big vegetable gardener, so
Okay, good.
I'm trying to get everything harvested and get ready to, for what, most people, and my mother's the same, your garden doesn't start until you plant the tomato plant.
Oh, yeah. Yes, my husband would say that too.
I mean, she's going to eat the collard, she's going to eat turnips, but it's not a garden till the
tomato.
tomatoes planted. So I just keep, and one thing, that we all get in a hurry,
Right.
and we all want to go get the tomato plants tomorrow.
Oh, but it's a little
But
early,
it's a
isn't it?
little early. I like to remind people that those plants really like it when the soil is like 65 degrees.
Okay. Consistently.
Consistently,
Not,
and that's going to be a while.
yeah. Okay.
It's, and is there, by planting these plants 2 weeks earlier, are we really getting a 2-week jump? Probably not,
Okay.
because those plants are just going to kind of sit there, stunted in a way, but sit there
Okay.
until that soil actually warms.
Is there any, I know there's not a certain date, but how do you go by the farmer's almanac or something like that, after Easter or something like that?
Well,
Or you just have to kind of
well, this
watch?
is what I tell people. We're in Alabama. It was, I remember about 10 years ago planting my garden like 3 weeks early, and everything worked out perfectly.
Oh.
And then I remember, 2 or 3 years ago, we weren't even fertilizing lawns till May
Really?
because the cool
was
weather
still
kept. So to me, there's not a
knows?
hard and fast rule. We just have to
Right. You just have to kind of watch the weather.
kind of wait and see till it's kind of a steady soil temperature above 60, 65.
Above 60 or 65. Okay. All right. Now, my husband grows tomatoes too, so any tips on tomato growing?
Well, actually, a tip for your vegetable garden, period,
Yes.
all of them is look at it every day. Every single day.
Oh, there we go, yeah.
Oh, no, see, that's a raised bed. That's actually, this
okay.
picture was taken just a couple of days ago.
Oh.
So that's actually at my sister's house. We put in some raised beds for her last year. So you can see
Okay.
there's tons of stuff that we can grow all year round. But my tip for the vegetable garden is really to go look at it every day. Because once you get an insect pest or a fungal disease or something like that, and it gets out of control, then it's a little bit harder. It is, if we miss it 1 or 2 days and then go back out.
Best to stay on
And
top
you know,
of it.
another thing that I would like to tell people is really, and they can get in touch with somebody at their local extension office if they're having an
Okay.
insect problem, but have it identified first.
Okay.
Because a lot of people like to use pesticides, whether they're organic or synthetic,
Right.
to help them with their pest problems. But a lot of people don't realize that they work. All these pesticides work differently. So it's going to depend on the insect, whether or not,
Okay. Depends on
and the
what-
crop being grown as well, whether it's
That's true.
the right insecticide to use.
So how can they identify what it is? Just
Well, they could take a picture if you can get a really good clear picture,
okay.
or you can bring live specimens into the
Oh.
office.
To the office. Okay. Well, great.
If we don't know what it is, we can take a picture and
We'll find out.
send.
What are your hours at the office?
The offices are open 8 to 4:30.
Okay. Okay. We can get in touch with you. I know I looked on the website.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Telephone number, things like that.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
Great, great. Okay. Take a picture, bring it in,
Take a
find out what
picture,
it is.
Bring it in. Let's find out what it is first. But as far as tomatoes go, you want the tips on tomatoes. That's one where you have to fertilize accordingly.
Okay.
Really watch for it. Again, watch for those insects and diseases. And I try to grow cultivars that have some kind of resistance to diseases.
Okay. Well, that makes sense, yeah, because you're gonna have those probably.
We're going to have those.
Yeah.
And we actually had a tomato workshop in Talladega last year.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was a lot of fun. People brought in their tomatoes to try. People brought in
Oh, fun.
parts of their plant that may not look so good, and we all talked about that. So that was in Sylacauga last year.
Oh, okay, that's great. And I'm sure you can learn from each other. I mean, learn from
Absolutely.
the agent, but looking at it, learning from it. That's great.
It's interesting. We usually hold those tomato workshops during the summer because that's when the most questions.
Sure. Your plants are up
when
and
it's
growing.
happening.
Yeah.
But there's so much that we can be doing now, as far as mulch, even pruning. Some people are still pruning their landscape plants.
Okay. Is it not too late? or-
And again, that one depends. I'm not a big pruner.
Okay.
And so if there is something in your landscape plant that maybe it's dead wood or there's something wrong with it, how about that?
Okay.
Anytime's a good time to prune it out. If you have to prune for size,
Right.
you might have that plant in the wrong place.
Oh, okay.
I don't like to continually prune for size just because pruning stimulates growth.
Oh,
And then
so
it tends to
gets
shoot
bigger.
up and everything else. But there's kind of a general rule that we can follow, and there's an exception to every rule.
Right.
So if people are thinking about pruning their landscape plants, and we call it the May rule. So if your shrub, your landscape shrub, if it blooms before May, you prune it after it flowers.
Okay,
So we're
after.
thinking azaleas.
Yes,
You know, azaleas
yes.
are fixing to bust now. They're going to prune. They're going to
bloom.
flower before May. So if we can prune them right after they flower,
Okay.
they'll still make growth.
Okay. Right after they flower.
And then that growth will set the buds for next year. We don't like to prune after the end of August,
Okay, not that late.
because if we prune then, again, it stimulates growth, and if we get a freeze or cool temperatures, it can knock it right back.
Right. My goodness, we have just a few seconds left. I have learned so much, and now I know where to go to find some information. We'd love for you to come to the library, check out some books, but go to the website, which is
www.aces.edu.
You can find webinars, ebooks, iBooks, find out about classes being taught and everything to get your garden going, or your lawn or your shrubs or whatever you have going on right now. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me today.
I appreciate you being here with me, and thank you for joining us on Library Connection.